The New Flat Rate Podcast.
The New Flat Rate!
For contractors ready to boost tickets, simplify business, and gain freedom. Today we sat down with Sarah Ghirardo. She is the Director of Pro Content at ServiceTitan and co-host of the TradeMarke Podcast. And now your host, me, Natalie Koop, and your co-host, Danielle Putnam. Welcome to the New Flat Rate Podcast. Today we're joined by Sarah Ghirardo, Director of Pro Content at ServiceTitan and co-host of the TradeMarke Podcast. Sarah's known for helping contractors level up their marketing, embrace AI, and build stronger connections in the trades. This episode is all about marketing and the power of AI. But first, Sarah, I wanted to ask you, what experience do you think had the biggest impact on who you've become today?
Oh, what a great question. First off, you have a lovely voice. Can I say that? Like you have the greatest voice. The biggest thing that really impacted my life was someone taking a chance on me and giving me the opportunity to A, come into the trades, and then B, develop my leadership skills. And they invested in me. And that was really what changed my life, my projection, like everything about it. So I'm just forever grateful and forever blessed for the connections that I have.
I love that answer. It really I don't know, it just touches my heart. And I'm really honored that you like my voice. I'm actually really insecure about my voice.
346.
Because I really like your voice. I was listening to some of your podcasts.
Thank you.
And then, I wanted to touch on AI. How do you see AI changing the way contractors market their business?
Yeah, it's going to change a lot, right? A search is completely changing. But what I like to say is AI is really a tool for efficiency gains and to really get rid of the redundant, repetitive tasks that we do. And that takes up a lot of our time. And we're just like, yeah, we do this every day. It takes us like an hour to do, and we're okay with that. But what if we could ask ourselves and stay curious and say, what if we're not okay with that? What if our time mattered a little bit more? What if we could measure the effort of what we're doing and get to the end result faster? And AI isn't perfect, but content isn't perfect, right? And we ourselves are content. And so what we have to learn is how can we fail forward fast? How can we iterate faster? And how can we be the leading at the leading edge of technology and being a part of the story instead of missing the story altogether because of fear?
Yeah, I feel like content is one of those things where it's just like changing rapidly. So the more you just kind of just go for it, the better the outcome and the numbers actually are.
Yeah.
We had a TikTok video the other day, and I had a lot of haters. Like all these haters, hate. And so our lead of our marketing and growth team, she's like, Danielle, I need you to shoot a video reply to all these haters. So I grabbed my bag and I was walking out the door, and it's like I knew I could overthink it and try to make it perfect. And, how do I say the right thing and not offend anybody? But finally I was like, screw it. Like, just whatever. I press record. I'm walking out the door and I'm just like, you hater. Say what you want, but I hate it for you. And I was honest, and it felt so good to be authentic and honest. And afterwards, I was like, wow, I actually just created content usable that was real. And what was fun is when we posted that reply, their response flipped to the positive. And they began to respond differently.
Yeah.
So when we bring real content into the space and the voice, and although we've got AI and we keep human elements in it too, I think we're really powerful.
Yeah. I mean, there's always going to be, there's a human in the loop because AI, it's not creating the vision for you right now, right? It can create the operational efficiency. It can't, but the thought that carries the entire thing through, like, that's a human. And fixing, and there will be haters. And I was talking to, some women today, and they were like, yeah, but what about the people that talk about AI generated content like it's a bad thing? And I'm like, It's because they're not seeing art for art. Art is beautiful. You can become a creator in the most beautiful way now with your words, with your thoughts. Like, how cool is that? Right? Like, that's how I like to teach it, and remove the fear out of it, and have some fun with it, because first you have to, it's a cultural transformation. And then it goes into, okay, well, what tools do we use? Like, let's have fun with some of the tools, and I think that's what I went in and taught today was, hey, let's just start with something fun. And then every week we bring in another fun element. But how could this be used in your job? How can I showcase what you did? So
I think we've had too long, for too many years, we've been so stuffy as a workforce.
Yeah.
And to be able to bring some fun.
I know.
How freeing.
How freeing, how authentic, how authentically human we will all be, still running businesses with our hearts and our beautiful thoughts, and becoming the creators we already are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good, Sarah. What is one simple way a small shop can start using AI in their marketing today?
Yeah. So it's going to be, and I'm telling everybody this, honestly, it's going to be automating your call center. And why I say it's a part of marketing, it's because marketing knows the contextual conversations and the keywords that are populating inside of those scripts. And depending on uh, who you go with an answering service or an automation, you will need to edit the script to your brand voice and keep refining it. But I think that it's just the lowest hanging fruit, because when we look at our call booking rate, a lot of times we used to say, hey, it's 80%. Okay, well, 80% is a great booking rate number, but a lot of them I'm seeing at 45%, 35%. Are we teaching the actual math behind the story that we're trying to create? And that's where we start losing money the fastest. We bleed there. We bleed when we don't measure marketing, but we bleed at the call center when they don't convert. We bleed at the technician when they don't convert. We bleed at the salesperson when they don't convert. We bleed at the install when they don't add upsells. Like, all of it, you can bleed. And so, like, really, like, let's start with the lowest hanging fruit and then work our way. It doesn't mean that AI is replacing the call center job. There's still responsibilities that needs to be elevated, and they get to manage the entire customer experience. And it's like a totally evolved position, and it's super cool.
Well, it's so practical, because as a low-hanging fruit, the reality is there's still missed calls. And so using AI, you're just going to not miss calls. So let's just start by not missing. And your point doesn't mean we're replacing everybody or even anybody. But if you use it as an efficiency, okay, I have 2 people in the office and they can't catch all the calls, but now AI can. All of a sudden, we're not missing it. And it's low-hanging fruit, easy to learn, to practice, to not be afraid of. And all of a sudden, we've filled and plugged some of those holes, and we don't have a bleed right there.
And it's 24/7, right? You don't have to be awake when the call is being answered. And other industries have already done this. We're not recreating a wheel, right? We are literally just jumping on the bandwagon because your cable company does it, your healthcare company does it. Like, there are other industries that I follow, and I'm like, oh, well, you are more advanced than us, but in some ways they're not. But so I take a lot of different industries, e-commerce, healthcare, education, and I mix them all together and say, well, how can that be in the trades? And then what are we missing? And then how, like, what are our opportunities? But I just think that the call center is the first one, the easiest one to automate. I called a company at 2 a.m. in the morning the other day before I gave a speech to see if they would answer, first off, and then B, to see what routing system that they would have of a speed to lead. And, I just knew that his wife's was probably angry because his phone was going off at 2 in the morning. And I called 3 times. I did this on purpose. And they texted back and they were like, yeah, we'll call you in the morning. And it was an immediate call, immediate follow-up. And I was like, that's great. Like, but at the same time, my urgency was then.
Yeah.
Like, what are you not servicing?
Yeah.
And what are the opportunities, and what's the opportunity to repair the relationship with your wife or husband late at night when you can't answer the phone, but you know it's ringing?
Yeah. Yeah. Great scenario.
Yeah.
hmm
I know this is switching it up a little bit, but I wanted to know a little bit about you at ServiceTitan. Like, what is your title specifically, like, entail? Like, what does a day look like for you?
Yeah, most definitely. So, the day is always different. I am a director of content. So for Marketing Pro and Field Pro. So what that means is creating high level strategy for email and direct mail templates that are built inside of our product for Marketing Pro. And so I run an 80% AI team. So that means I have 7 agentic bots that I built that run the automation and content process behind it and create the copy, the distribution system on the back end so that we can create a product on the front end for our customers, for the trade, every trade business. And so it's a really important job because sometimes we have trouble being creative. We're like, yeah, I want to do this, but like, how do I do this? And then what ServiceTitan did was they hired someone from the trades, an expert in marketing, and said, hey, tell me what your strategies are. Help me build this bigger. What does scale look like? And so I started with Marketing Pro, and then I went into Field Pro, and I was like, what does scale look like? What do people really need? Well, they need leadership content. They need real human interaction and to learn from leaders. And so I created the Pro Uno. And that product will be coming out more as a subscription service where like you can listen to different people and get leadership coaching. And it's
Neat.
still a contextual conversation, right? Like what happened on that job? And then Jerry Rollins comes up and he's like, yeah, no, I had this moment and this is how I would coach it up. And
Yeah.
so it's really just expanding the world of content to help build a better product, but also to help the trades make money. And that's so exciting. We've made significant strides there. And yeah, so that's part of my job. The other one is I created these marketing summits because we noticed that the trades needed to be taught marketing. And I was like, cool, I'm just going to go out and help. And our first one was free. It was 17 people. We asked them to come a week before. We rented a place at like one of those Regis places, and 17 people showed up. And then we just grew it from there. And we have maximum 50 member sessions every quarter about marketing in the trades. And then we talk about our product a lot, but we teach our product and we teach about the relevancy of how AI is changing the trades and, all of the different concepts that are going on, how search is changing. Like we have real discussions. And so like, yeah, I've just done a lot of that and community building and leadership. And it's just, my day is different every day. And that's the cool thing about a content specialist is a director. It's like, what else can I come up with?
Yeah, it's incredible. You're able to bring so much creativity into it. But I love when you said that you want to help and you want to get out there and serve and help and find out what they need. And that
Yeah.
brings you to life. You're passionate about that. So what a great role and how fun is that? Neat that exists.
Yeah. I mean, it aligns with my core values so much,
Yeah.
but I can tell you that I created this role and I made sure that it aligned to people first. So I create a culture internally about people first and then externally, where it goes as well. It's like, how do I bring you out to speak? What does this look like for you? Like, how can I partner with you? Like, what does great look like?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it looks like the trades.
Yeah. And it sounds like you've probably got a team that you collaborate with to come up with, you're asking these kinds of questions. The average everyday person doesn't have answers to those kinds of questions, right? Like, what does great look like? You're really stretching. It sounds simple. Simple is hard.
Yes.
And so you're stretching the minds there. So what kind of a team do you have around you for that kind of collaboration?
Yeah. So I am a giant collaborator internally and externally. So I have a team internally of it's me and another wonderful human. Her name is Lexi, and she is the production manager, the AI production manager. And I'm more of the visionary, and she's the integrator. Because you can have visionaries, and then if you don't have an integrator, then you just have visions.
Yeah.
And so, like, she's the integrator, and then we partner with growth engineering, which is a person that automates us, that really helps us build systems and processes in place to create these agentic experiences and to produce faster. But also, we're learning a lot. And then we have a visual design team who designs the templates. They are amazing. Like, the entire collaboration, product marketing, like, we collaborate with events, everyone internally. And there's not a not brilliant person at ServiceTitan. You're just like surrounded by this brilliance and the mindset of a unicorn of like, no, like, let's expand our thought. Let's stay curious together. That's the culture. And it's just so exciting to work there and to be a part of that experience.
I like that. Stay curious together.
Culture is so important at work. How are people pricing in the trades? How are the owners pricing?
I hear a lot of different things. And I've heard a lot of things about how 2025 has been really difficult. And I can't say that it hasn't. I can say that some owners will undercut their prices, some will overvalue their prices. There is no happy medium, and some will just be like, I don't know. The ones that say, I don't know, they're the ones you want to lean into, because you're like, yeah, so what are you going to do? And they're like, well, we're going to raise our prices. That's because they're taking a bold choice for their business to move forward, and maybe in an environment that is not conducive to the price sensitivity of what consumers are, because consumers have more noise at their disposal, which means that there will be businesses that will come in and undercut your price, but not undercut your value. Does that make sense? So, like, the pricing strategy, it's a hard one to talk about, and it makes people uncomfortable, right? And it's okay to have those uncomfortable conversations with yourself every 6 months, every 3 months, every month if you want to, right? Like, and then ask yourself, what opportunities am I not seeing? Because it's not just about your prices, it's about your services. Your job types are not the only thing you can make money off of. You can make money off of content. You can become a creator. Facebook pays you, YouTube pays you, TikTok pays you. Social selling is a big thing. Like, what are we doing differently to have more reoccurring revenue streams that are passive income, but are additional to the job types or services that we might be missing opportunities in revenue from, because of, consumer behavior.
What should contractors expect in 2026?
This is a great question. I don't think they should have any expectations. It's like having a boyfriend and having like an unspoken expectation, and we're just like leading them into what we want to do, when really, like, the world is changing so fast with AI that it is like we're being fortune tellers and asking it to predict what's next for us. And the reality is 2026 is going to look a lot different, because it can, but it can based on what we do as the trades. For me, if I were looking at opportunities, I would look into the AI infrastructure. I would look into other content monetization sources. I would look into how search is changing and how to develop content and optimize the content you already have for the conversation. I would think about how every single person would have their own agent. And that is what search is going to look like. The agent's going to search for you. And then I would think about what type of content that search is going to serve based on our individual preferences as society of the content that we consume. We consume videos and we consume images, right? And so think about what you should be producing in order to win the search, because the search game is changing.
Yeah.
There's so much that I would think about in 2026 and plan for, and just think about having a diversified marketing budget, a marketing structure that can pivot, but also like, how do I automate the redundant tasks of the roles, so that like we are lean and efficient and running strong and able to go into AI infrastructure or able to look at government bids. There's money all over the place.
Yeah.
Right? So I would just say stay open to infinite opportunities, stay open to a curious mindset, and really like leverage AI and automation and build agentic experiences inside of your organization. Hire somebody. You do not have to do this. Go to Fiverr and hire automation experts. Take one task and see what it does. You know, for us, automating content, we were doing 8 hours per template. We might spend 8 hours releasing 70 templates a month now. So it's like, where does the time spent matter the most?
Well, this next question might be a little bit spicy for the industry, but in your opinion, is there a tech shortage? What do you think about it?
I think that there's always a technician shortage, just because we're in a people and experience business, and I've seen people, you know, you can't control the behaviors. You can't control what you can't control. You can't control people. And so, yes, we'll always be in a shortage of great people. And will I think that robots will replace the people? No, I think we will train the robots. And there will still be parts of the jobs that a technician will want to be there for. But think about crawl spaces and I know everyone's seen those dogs at the conferences, and they're treated like kind of show ponies. And that's controversial to say. That's not what they're for. They're for security, construction, they're for safety. Think about if we used, robotics for the right reasons. Think about sending them into the crawl space, measuring those spaces. Like there's just so much opportunity to rethink like what we're doing in the space of technicians and hiring and all of that kind of perspective.
I love your positive spin. You have had a thread all throughout all of your questions this episode, very positive outlook. And, there's just a lot of negativity in the world. A lot of people are naturally negative these days. And so great job carrying that torch of positivity and the outlook of there's great business to be had. There's great money to be made, and think differently, be creative, art for art. Said a lot of really great things, but I love the positive nature that comes behind that and with it for you. It's really good for everybody to hear.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I mean, the biggest gain you can have is by having a positive mindset, and changing your mindset changes your ways. And I'm not perfect. There are days where I'm just like, dang, there's stinking thinking going on all over the place, right? And my friend the other day, Ryan at Reading, he said to me, he's like, okay, you have to stop telling yourself these lies. So like you have to surround yourself with people that will call you out on those days where your stinking thinking is allowed or out loud. And you get to pivot at any point in any second of every day. So change your mindset, change your ways is what I say.
I like it.
Yeah.
You've seen a lot of success stories. What separates the companies that grow fast from the ones that stay stuck?
Numbers, knowing your numbers and understanding the stories people put behind the numbers, or no story whatsoever. They're just running and they're just blindly going. Once you understand like what your goals are for the day, you understand what the day entails, right? Like you're not chasing a number. You're like strategically placing your team in the right place at the right time with the right message. And so like, I think that's the biggest and most important. I see in marketing, like they don't have a budget. I'm like, so you're just flying by the seat of your pants. They're like, yeah, we spent 15%. I'm like, are you even sure? They're like, no, because it was allocated to a different business, like number, whatever. I don't even know. Or they're like, we don't even have a budget. We just have receipts. And I'm like, that's cool. Like, but it's not going to get what got you here will not get you there.
Yeah.
And, a lot will say, well, I got to 15 million from word of mouth. I'm like, yeah, you will. That's choosing the right job, like doing the right thing. And so it's not that you're wrong. Like, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying you could be better structured if you knew your numbers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we see that all the time too, especially just the daily. What's the daily truck roll? What's the goal for the day per tech? So many don't know. And then when they can find out, it's really fun to watch the gears change of, oh, I got this already. Now this, right? Like to your point, it really can set so much schedule, the plan, the activities. And
Yeah.
it's a simple number to start with too. And so we're not saying you have to know every number on day one, but it's a great starting place.
Yeah. Yeah, most definitely. And like I love vendors that teach numbers. Because not everybody knows. Like people are like, what's ROAS? And I'm like, okay, yeah, that might be a complicated number for a business owner to know.
Yeah.
But and then like, will you constantly be thinking about ROAS and not thinking about the actual like what we're doing and impact? You got to take it for what it is and leave it to the responsible person that owns the numbers, because every person is accountable for a number. Right.
That's when they know what their number is, and then they can feel confident in that.
Yeah. And it gives them a sense of purpose.
I agree. And ownership. Yeah. And then they're really proud. We found, I mean, then people can celebrate with each other and celebrate.
Yeah.
It really does. It really increases the atmosphere of the culture.
Yeah.
So how does Marketing Pro and ServiceTitan help contractors streamline their marketing?
Yeah, most definitely. So Marketing Pro is built inside of ServiceTitan, and you cannot get closer to your numbers, and you can't get closer to your data set than something that's built inside. And in a world of fragmented processes and fragmented data sets, understanding that in one place, that we know your data best, that's how AI is going to be working, right? It's going to be looking at your data sets and then choosing the correct campaign to send out based on the need. So Marketing Pro, it may not have all the channels. It has the channels with the hardest attribution for marketers, but it has a lot of channels. And I think a lot of people sometimes think, well, this is expensive. If you have a person for every single channel, like that's expensive. If you are, you have subscription fees for every single channel for every product that you buy, like you have to rethink the value perceived versus the value you're getting out and the time you're spending putting in. And so that's why Marketing Pro, like the templates are designed and built by the trades, by me and my team. We take care, like ultimate care and consideration into the product that we build and bring the trades in as much as possible. And it's not just me, like we literally will bring a bunch of our trades in, create marketing councils and really hear the feedback and then pivot as fast as we need to. And I can't tell you that I haven't loved my job every single day, because like I can't tell you that I have not loved my job every single day. Like the brilliance that I'm surrounded with by the team that actually really cares, like they're the ones that said, hey, let's go out and teach this. And then they threw their own money behind it and they were like, let's do it. Like that's passion and care. Like that's just like, it's about just brilliance. It's just like, just the utmost, they align everything to a people first experience. And I don't know, for me, I could not say no to Marketing Pro. It just made sense.
And before we wrap it up, can you tell us more about the TradeMarke Podcast and what kind of conversations you're having on there?
Yeah, most definitely. So it is a podcast that Eric and I started. I called him one day and I was like, hey, do you just want to do a podcast? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, okay, cool. We didn't know how much time a podcast took. We didn't know anything about running a podcast. Eric did a little bit, but we didn't have any structures or anything in place. But we just did it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And we decided to take a big, bold risk and apply to random places that we could talk about our podcast. But the goal was to bring out the people in the trades and talk about marketing. We figured that we can't talk about marketing without operations, because you can have great marketing and poor operations, and marketing will just take the beating every time. And so we had to teach that. And then we had to incorporate how AI is changing the operations. And so it's marketing, operations, and AI and leadership all combined. It sounds crazy, but it's a little bit of everything in that podcast, and it gives value back to the trades to take action in little steps. So we love the TradeMarke podcast. We're excited about it. We'll be at a roofing process conference soon, and then AHR will go and support that as well. So yeah.
And great co-host. I really like Eric.
Yeah, he's so great.
Yeah.
And we were able to do 52 podcasts from January until July is when we ended our season. And so, yeah, so that's cool. So altogether, we've done over 100 podcasts in less than a year and a half.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, one thing I like about it is like y'all's like banter and just like how like y'all seem like you've known each other for like 70 years, like the way y'all talk. And it's just like a genuine friendship. And like I watched the beginning of like quite a few of them, and y'all's it's just so like wholesome and sweet. And I was really interested in what you had to say because of how nice you are to each other. And I really like, if you haven't listened to it, go over, and it's actually really, really nice to listen to. I love it.
Thank you for saying that. Yeah, Eric is the best. He's just the best. We align via faith, via family, which is the most important part to align to when you're going into business with someone. So that's where we start, and then our heart of just giving back and serving with purpose. And so, yeah, it's been a great ride.
Sarah, thank you so much for sitting down and taking the time out of your day to talk to us. We really appreciate it. And to our listeners, I hope you leave this conversation with more marketing insights, and have a great day. Bye, guys.
Thank you.
If you want to learn more about the new flat rate, go to TheNewFlatRate.com. If you want to learn more about ServiceTitan, go to ServiceTitan.com. And make sure to check out the TradeMarke Podcast by going to the link in the description below this video.